Time with Mallory. I have the pleasure to interviewing Miss Hallie Hulse-Evans. How are you doing today, Miss Evans?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Why did you want to be a tutor or teacher?
Well, um, I don't know. That's kind of a tough question. I guess I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. And when I was little, I did what I think a lot of little kids do. I had my dry erase board, and my stuffed animals were my students. And I had the same teacher for first and second grade, and I tried to emulate her in my um, bedroom classroom. I just thought she was the best teacher. And so I always knew I wanted to do that. I didn't know what I wanted to teach necessarily until I was in high school and I volunteered for a day camp that we no longer have. But it was called Kids Days, and it was for students that went to Edgewood Community Development Center. And they would come in the summer, and there was a student in my class that was nonverbal, and he said my name, and I remember having to like leave the room, and I called my mom, and I was like, I want to teach special ed. And that was kind of like the end for me. I think that was like 10th grade. So since I was about 15 or 16, i was I knew for sure I was going to teach special education.
What are your greatest strengths and weaknesses?
Let's see. I have, as far as weaknesses, i'm I'm really organized with like my data, my student data, but I'm not organized with classroom materials. I've never been that way. I just put things down because I'm in a hurry, and then later I can't find them, and which I think adds to my stress level. I also, this year it's been easier with time management because we've been getting out earlier due to COVID. But prior time management, I would say spending too much time on things that really don't deserve that much time. So then I don't have enough time for the things that really need more time. Um, and I would say those are my biggest weaknesses. So I guess in general, organization. As far as my strengths, I think I, for better or worse, I'm an empath, and I feel like that helps me relate to my students. And I, and when you're in special education, you get students with all kinds of different needs. And I think it makes me have more patience and understanding, especially when it comes to students with behaviors, because they often get overlooked. And I feel like I just think I have the ability to understand, and I think that makes me a better teacher for them. Not a better teacher, but a good teacher for them.
What is your favorite thing about being a tutor or a teacher?
Uh, Probably what everyone says, that light bulb moment when something finally clicks. And, another thing about special ed and, probably tutoring and teaching in general is you have some students who just, it just seems like you're never going to get it. And you keep repeating the same thing over and over, and you look on the internet and you talk with your colleagues, like, what's the best way to teach this? And you've been teaching the same thing for a month or two, sometimes even years, with your students that you've had over and over. And then one day it's like the light bulb goes off, and um, it really, I'm sorry, I'm about to cry just thinking about it, but it really is awesome, whether it's, reading their first sentence or writing their name by themselves for the first time. And that was, I'll say, the most frustrating part when I first started teaching special ed is it seemed like there were no, I don't want to say any, but there were very few aha moments, or I feel like a lot of times with regular education teachers, every day someone gets it. There's a light bulb every day. And I was starting to get frustrated because I wasn't seeing that in the beginning. But then I realized, like, you have to appreciate the small things, and that what it may seem small to someone else, but to them it really is a big deal. It could help them live a better life. And that's something I've had to learn is, maybe it's not what you would expect a typical first grader to do, but for them it's a life-changing skill. And that's something that I've had to learn to deal with, or cope with, I guess. And since I've done that, I get more aha moments.
How long have you been tutor or a teacher?
This is my ninth year. So yeah, 9 years.
What are your tutoring or teaching specialties?
Well, I have a certification in general education through kindergarten through 6th grade. And then I have my certification in general curriculum special education, which would be like resource or pull out. So kids that are on the, who are doing regular standards, but just need a little help. And that's kindergarten through 12th grade. And then I have special education, kindergarten through 12th grade, adapted curriculum, which is students that are in self-contained classes, the ones that I teach in my class who are on the modified standards. So, I was a dual major in college though. So, I mean, it sounds like a lot, but the way our curriculum was set up, it prepared us for all of that. So, those are my 3 areas of license.
What are the 3 most important skills when it comes to tutoring or teaching?
Let's see. I definitely think patience and understanding. That's obviously, you can't, that old saying that kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I think that comes from having patience and understanding. If you get upset with every little thing they do, they're not going to trust you. They're not going to want to be around you. So I think that's the most important thing for me. And then I would say just having a good relationship with their families, their support team, whether they have occupational therapy or speech or whatever, just making sure you're open with communication. And then really having fun, like enjoying what you're doing, being passionate about what you're doing. They love, I grew up in theater, and like I've started performing on stage when I was 3, and I use that in the classroom every day. And they love that. They love that over the top, like when you read a story and you make voices, or you dance silly with them. Like they enjoy that. They want to see their teacher enjoying what they're doing, so then they enjoy coming to school. And then you hear your favorite thing, which is, I loved coming to school, which is really the best thing I think a kid could say, because I feel like a lot of kids don't like coming to school.
What advice would you give my viewers who want to be a teacher or a tutor?
Advice. I really think the most important thing is to make sure that it's what you want to do. I think a lot of people think that teaching or tutoring is easy, because you get your summers off, you get your holidays, you get your weekends. And I think they underestimate how much passion has to go into it, and how much it's not a job that you can just show up to. I mean, I've had jobs where you can just show up, and whether you're in a good mood or a bad mood, it doesn't really matter. You're at work. But when you teach, you have to leave your problems at the door, and you have to be there for the kids. So you have to really make sure it's what you want to do. And I've, a few younger kids I know are going to school for it right now. And I was just like, observe lots of different classrooms, make sure it's really what you want, because if not only are you wasting your money going to college for this particular thing, but you're not going to be happy. And if you're not happy in the classroom, you're going to have a really hard time connecting with the students.
Thank you so much, Hallie, for joining with me today. It was an absolute pleasure having you on today.
Well, thanks for having me.
And I will be back for more of Tutor Time with Mallory.
Bye.
Bye.